based on the minimal logs that we actually do have across all of the dungeons. I think one of the ones that I see the most, it happens to be the DKs, the rogues, and the hunters. There is one warlock that seems to be at the top of a couple of these here, and I do think that he's been known to do that over time. So right now, I would say that Assassination is definitely looking very good. I've heard that from many people, and then Casual is doing extremely well on it as well. You can see that Hunter is performing excellent on a lot of keys, but I'm not sure how this is really going to go. Like, this is back when this was a little bit more... Yeah, like, this is 26 million overall. So, I mean, that's... I think we probably got a little bit of a tuning since then. I don't know why that says 13 million here. I don't know what's going on with this log. Something's wrong with that. But this is obviously not correct. So I think based on actually looking at the logs, we're going to see that DK is going to be most likely in the meta. I've been seeing Arcane, Frost, and Fire pop off, so whatever Mage spec actually fits better in your comp is probably going to be what's actually going on with this. I think that you're absolutely going to be able to fit a Warlock into some of these keys. It can and will do, like, the most AoE that you've seen, so wait until you see some of these with, like, an AUG. Like, you get an AUG Priest, that can be some wild damage. I know that the Frost Mages are showing up here, but I think that most of the time the profile and the slows and everything like that, it's probably going to be better if we have Arcane. So right now, based on the actual logs that we're looking at, all of the keys that I have done, I think that I can kind of say that we are going to see some combination of Rogue with a DK. Rogue DK might be just auto-locked, and then if auto-locked Rogue DK, we're going to see a Mage, and then a Mage that can flex between all of the specs. That's going to be extremely OP for that. So I don't think we're going to be seeing as many Hunters as this would kind of represent, just due to a lot of these logs are from before the nerfs, and I mean, whatever that is, I don't know what that is. That has to be a bug, because that's more damage than basically these two combined, and that's pretty nuts. So other than what we actually see here, I think that Havoc is performing overly well. I think that its prio damage and the sustained prio damage that it brings is just incredible. The absolute front-loaded funnel that you're going to get inside of that Touch of the Magi window is going to be amazing for the Mage. I mean, Mage funnel is probably superior right now to Havoc funnel, but not by much, and then Havoc really fits its own role in a lot of other comps that a Arcane Mage just would not do as well in or thrive as well in, especially if you get, like, for example, last season you get a Shaman, you get the buff for the Mastery, you're always in melee, and on the counterpart, your Arcane is always going to be outside, trying to send orbs out, not in melee, not doing all of these extra things. So they have different roles, but looking at it, it's very clear that we're going to see those DKs. DK is pretty much locked in. They're just tanky as hell. I know that Shadow Priests are doing well. I've seen them personally. I think that we're going... I haven't really seen any Boomkins since they got, like, nuked off the planet. So we have not too much representation on the top list, but also this doesn't give us a full picture of what's actually going on. Right here, it was 2,844 completed runs from 12 to 20, and this was updated 5 days ago, so it's fairly current, and then you can also see what dates they were on. So most of this stuff is from a little while ago. We have the most from the DKs, that's probably why we're up here, and I do think that you are going to be seeing a lot of Frost DKs in the next season, a lot of them. Ellie Shaman is performing well, the ones that I've seen, so I think you're going to have a lot of different comps, and then we'll probably... Your tank is going to be based on what comp you're playing. If you're playing the caster comp, then I'm assuming you're going to be playing with Vengeance. It's still very good. And then if you're playing with the melee comp, it does look like a Prot Warrior is going to give the most value. So for all of the melee comps, it does seem like the Battle Shout does perform better for your average melee team than, let's say, the Monk buff. So a lot of these melees that you're going to be bringing into the group are somewhat hybrid, and then the, like, let's say the versatility buff, and then the buff from the warrior, the Battle Shout, is just going to just flat buff all of that damage, and then the Monk buff might only buff certain parts of the damage of certain people. So you got to be kind of cognizant of that. So take this with a grain of salt, but this is actual real raw data that you can see, and I'll be honest, it doesn't seem too far off of what I have seen personally on beta. I have done a lot of keys on beta now. I think I just got the new mount. Let's see. It's called Scarlet Void Flyer. Yep, so I got the Scarlet Void Flyer now. This thing is actually pretty cool. And so this is the 3K achievement. I've done all of the keys on beta. I've been testing these for a while. I have half of them timed, and like the gambits were pretty overtuned. Streets was always pretty rough, but I haven't ran that since the beginning of it. And then the rest of them I was able to get some decent times on these things here. So this was a pretty fun PTR set, and I'm excited to continue going. We'll make a lot more videos coming up, but I think it will be a fairly balanced season so far of what I'm seeing. There's no one just getting hard gapped, and there will be some tuning passes coming through, and hopefully we'll see a new Havoc spec. So hope it helped to give a little bit of an insight other than people just kind of saying what they think is going to be good and what's not. And this is like what is actually out, what we can see, and then obviously there's been small tuning since then, and it is fairly accurate either way. So see you this season, guys. We're going to be playing Havoc, Destro, a little bit of Arcane, and I want to dabble into Vengeance, learn a little bit of tanking. So catch you later.